Welcome back. It is my true honor to introduce our next guest, Jessica Cox. You may have seen her featured on Oprah and many other TV shows. But today, she shares her inspiring story with us that serves as a humble reminder that no matter what physical challenges you may face in your life, you can overcome them to achieve your goals, and maybe even the impossible, like Jessica has, as long as you believe in yourself.
Ever since I was a kid, people always doubted what I could do. I think limits are just meant to be overcome.
Jessica is most famous for being the first armless pilot in aviation history to fly using only their feet. She also has an unrestricted driver's license. She's a certified scuba diver. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology. She's a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo and certified trainer.
I was born without arms, and in the beginning it was very challenging for my family because they had no idea how I would be able to be independent, how would I be able to do the everyday things that people do with their hands. And then I started to develop the skills of using my toes and my feet like hands and fingers. And this was something that came very naturally to me. It was something even the doctors thought would happen. They would tell my mom to hand me toys to my feet so that I can start to interact with the world with my toes and my feet. And it became a very natural process. I learned to go through the phases of childhood using my feet like hands. I learned how to eat, feed myself, and explore the world with my toes. I was given the option of prosthetics starting at the age of 3. It was good to have the choice because I would have probably gone through childhood seeing these prosthetic limbs and thinking, oh, I wish I had those. But in reality, after having the option of wearing them and being forced to wear them daily for a good 11 years, it was very odd to use them. I mean, for one, my feet and my legs, they were flesh and bone. I could have better sensation. I was more efficient and faster. But then when it came to prosthetics, I had to think through the process. How do I want to use this arm to function a way to accomplish a task? So it took a lot more time, and it took a lot more work than just using my own toes and feet. I feel so lucky that we are here in the Air and Space Museum in San Diego, because every time I am near an airplane, it just reminds me of how exciting that journey was to becoming a pilot. I initially was always terrified of flying. I did not want to go up in a small airplane because it scared me. It scared me not because of heights, but it scared me because I was losing contact with the ground. I thought it was important for me to be an example of being fearless. So I chose to overcome my greatest fear in order to be a better speaker, to share the message that you should never let fear stand in the way of any opportunity. It was a long journey. It started out with finding the right airplane, finding an instructor who was willing to train me, and of course finding the funding, because it's a very expensive recreation to fly planes. In order to become a pilot, it took 3 airplanes, 3 different flight instructors, flight training in Florida, California, and Arizona, numerous hours of study, and definitely a perseverance and persistence to go through the different challenges that occurred over the course of 3 years to become a certified pilot. It was a long journey, but it was well worth it. The airplane that I fly is called an air coupe airplane. It was the only airplane built without rudder pedals. And so the air coupe was designed in the 30s and 40s, and it was designed in a very simplified way. It made flying a lot easier. So for me, that was the perfect fit because of the fact that it didn't require all 4 limbs actively flying the airplane. I could actually use 2 feet or use 2 limbs to fly this airplane, and it worked out really well.
There's your handy opener.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it, I think.
That's it? Oh, you're right. That's
then you have to pick it up. Okay, good. Everything's all on the outside, so you don't have to worry much about whether you can see it all, because it's all there.
Mm-hmm. We're good. Here's the checklist for the pre-flight. So I think we're in good shape for today. Most recently, someone has decided to give me his own personal Aircoupe airplane for my foundation to help people with disabilities. So it's wonderful to know, to be a part of an aviation community that believes in what I'm doing and believes in the importance of empowering other people. And I just feel privileged to be able to use aviation as a tool to inspire and motivate other people. There has been a documentary that was done about my life called Right Footed by Nick Spark. And he has done so well with this documentary. It's available on Amazon Prime. It was on National Geographic in over 80 countries around the world. It has been seen on Fuse Network, as well as many film festivals. So it has really taken off, this documentary. And with the documentary and the reach of helping other people with disabilities, I also started a foundation called Right Footed Foundation International. And Right Footed Foundation International is now a 501c3. We aim to mentor children with different limb differences or disabilities. We educate the public about the importance of respecting people who have differences. We work at inspiring people. And I also am an advocate, so I work on advocating for disability rights as well. And so I have this book, Disarm Your Limits, and it's available on my website as well as on Amazon. So for anyone who would like to read it, you can please find it. It's Disarm Your Limits, the flight formula to lift you to success and propel you to the next horizon. I also do speeches all over the world. If you need a speaker, please be sure to reach out to me. I would be happy. I travel everywhere to speak and share my message and share my stories, and most importantly, inspire other people to achieve the impossible in their own lives. And for me, I always say there are a couple things that I'm still working on, but it's not that I can't do them. It's just I'm still figuring out a way. And that one thing that I'm still trying to figure out is how to tie my hair in a ponytail. I'm Jessica Cox, and this is my voice.